This is Channel 2 News, coverage you can count on.
Within minutes, extreme violence erupted, and as we know now today, an officer lost his life as well as a suspect lost his life.
A domestic violence call turned deadly over the weekend, and now the community is grieving this unthinkable sadness. Crime Beat tops Channel 2 News at 5 o'clock. Good evening. I'm Wendy DeMonte.
I'm Kristen Remington. Thanks for being with us tonight. You know, we're learning more and more about what happened this weekend that ended in the death of that Carson City deputy. Let's show you where it all happened. Early Saturday morning, just after 2 a.m. in the 4100 block of Montez Drive in East Carson City, deputies say that's where they responded to a domestic violence call. When they got to the scene, they tell us they found a woman who was injured. Shortly after, they say 30-year-old Jonathan Pope walked outside and opened fire on deputies, hitting and killing 9-year veteran Carl Howell. Tonight, we do have Amanda Ketchledge working this Crime Beat story for us. Amanda, you had a chance to sit down with Carson City Sheriff Ken Furlong today. What's he saying about all this?
Well, Kristen, Wendy, Sheriff Ken Furlong says that the Reno Police Department will be taking the lead on this investigation, but they too will be taking an internal look at what happened that night. But in the meantime, they are celebrating Carl's life and the service he gave to this community.
From the information that I already have, I think that Carl's an absolute hero. Hero to his peers, a hero within the community.
Sheriff Ken Furlong talked briefly about that unthinkable night, calling Deputy Carl Howell a hero. He was a veteran deputy of 9 years.
Carl was the type of officer that you could see holding a child's hand and crossing the street or taking on that most deadly call like he took.
Howell was temporarily performing while on patrol. He only had 2 days left before returning to his duties with court services.
We lost a friend. We lost a partner. Families without a father. That best cop out there. The one, yes, I'm very proud of. But I think he's also the one that you would want when you called 911.
Saturday night, thousands gathered to mourn the loss of Howell in a candlelight vigil.
To see that community support, there's not a thin blue line. It's a huge blue line, and it's as wide as this state. I was absolutely overwhelmed.
Sheriff Ken Furlong says the loss of a hero brings to light the awareness of domestic violence.
While we are saddened and horrified by the events of Saturday, it is the point across the country. We've got to take strong efforts to curtail that violence that is going on within families.
And the sheriff says that they will continue their efforts to end domestic violence like this unfortunate incident. And there has been a donation account made at the Heritage Bank of Nevada called the Carl Howell Memorial Fund. Covering Crime Beat at the Carson City Sheriff's Office, Amanda Ketchledge, Channel 2 News.
All right, Amanda, thank you. And this Thursday is when Deputy Howell will be laid to rest. A procession will start in Carson City on North Carson Street and College Parkway at 9 a.m. From there, they will head to the Reno Event Center in downtown Reno for the public ceremony. That's slated to begin at 11 a.m. You should expect some road closures around the event center during that time. And the Sheriff Furlong says their administrative offices will be closed Thursday so the Carson City staff can attend the funeral.
And tonight we're also learning more about the man accused of shooting and killing Deputy Howell. Deputies say this man, 30-year-old Jonathan Pope, pulled the trigger that delivered that fatal shot. This is a mugshot from the Lyon County Sheriff's Office. We're told Pope has quite the criminal history, although the Lyon County Sheriff's Office has refused to tell us for what he's been arrested.
And the shooting or beating deaths of police officers are not common in our region. In fact, over the last 20 years, there have only been 3 cases. The 4th was Saturday morning. Our Landon Miller is also working Crime Beat tonight and has a look at the officers who have been killed in the line of duty.
The Nevada Law Enforcement Memorial has every name of every officer killed in the line of duty dating all the way back to 1861.
If you were to look up the term professional police officer, that was Larry Johnson.
May 1995, Sparks police officer Larry Johnson was shot and killed as he chased a man who robbed a bar.
He had a very outgoing, friendly personality.
When he died, he left behind an 18-year-old daughter, a 10-year-old son. We interviewed family friends back in 1995. many of them at a loss for words. The family of University of Nevada Sergeant George Sullivan experienced the same thing after his January 1998 death.
They're experiencing a very the deepest of all personal tragedies that could ever happen.
Sullivan, while on patrol, was killed by a man who just wanted to kill an officer. This photo was the last one taken of the Sullivan family together.
We used to tease George because every time one of his kids would get sick, he'd call in sick with his kids.
And it's hard to forget the shooting death of Reno police officer John Bohatch in August 2001. He was killed by Larry Peck following a traffic stop.
This is something that will affect our officers and future officers for the rest of our lives.
He'd been with the Reno Police Department for 13 years. Right before his death, Channel 2 interviewed Bohatch about gun safety and homes.
It's important to understand what a firearm is capable of doing. It's in a mere split second, it's capable of ending somebody's life.
The last two names engraved here were from two officers killed in Las Vegas last year. Now one more name will be added to this memorial. Covering the story, Landon Miller, Channel 2 News.
And with the fallen deputy's funeral this Thursday, be sure to stay with Channel 2 News on the air, online, and on Facebook and Twitter for continuing coverage.